Classical music and conversation. Developing music therapy techniques with classical music for use in aged care. After a brief introduction to the population, we will look at the benefits of music therapy, my repertoire choice and its history, a musical analysis, and the application in music therapy. There are over 190,000 facilities that are devoted to aged care, with 239,000 residents in Australia. 14% of our population is over the age of 65, with that number set to increase to 20% by 2050. There are a multitude and variety of ailments that affect aged populations and their levels of cognition. The most prominent of all is dementia. It's associated with more than 100 different diseases that are characterized by the impairment of brain function, including language, memory, perception, personality, and cognitive skills. Dementia affects over 340,000 people, according to the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. 1 in 10 people over 65 and 3 in 10 people over 80 will be affected by dementia. With dementia sufferers specifically in mind, the most prevalent benefits of music therapy can include a positive effect on behaviour, both independently and in a social context. It can promote communication in the form of verbal and musical dialogue, reduce anxiety, aggression, confusion, improve and increase states of relaxation, flexibility, socialization, and general morale, as well as enhancing an overall quality of life. Furthermore, there have even been studies to show that music therapy can decrease health risks like heart disease and depression. And now for the music. The Blue Danube was written by Johann Strauss in 1866. It's one of the more popular and recognizable pieces of classical music from this era. Johann Strauss was born in 1825 to a musical family and is considered as one of the best waltz composers of all time, writing over 500 classical works. He brought the Viennese waltz style back into mainstream popularity with its royal and regal orchestration, expanding the style out of beer houses and quaint villages and into grand ballrooms. This piece was written as a choral work, with its initial performance had a very lukewarm reception. It was rescored for a full orchestra in 1867 for the Paris World Fair, where it became a great success. The orchestral version is what Strauss is most famous for today. It is written in a traditional waltz style with 3/4 time signature. A waltz typically sounds one chord per measure, with the accompaniment style instrument playing the root of the chord on the first beat, and the upper notes of the chord on the second and third beats by supporting instruments. In this example, the root of the chord is being played by the double bass on the first beat of the bar, with the remaining section filling in the upper notes on the second and third beats. An ascending triad is a recurring theme that has variations repeated throughout the course of the music, echoed amongst other instruments, and rearranged throughout the score. This is what the entire piece is built on. Much like listening to a conversation, one section will speak with the ascending notes of the triad, and an alternate section or instrument will respond. This example shows a variation on that theme, played by the flutes, clarinet, bassoon, and first violins. The notes are presented in an inversion, with a high D followed by F sharp and A. The 3/4 time signature of waltz music has a sense of motion with its emphasis on the first beat of the bar. It creates a consistent walking pace, and throughout this piece there is a shift in harmony or change of melodic statement every 2 bars, thus creating a pulse. 1 ender, 2 ender, 1 ender, 2 ender. This helps to build on the walking beat. Although scarce percussion is used throughout, at intermittent points during the piece, the snare and cymbal join with the brass section to create a marching-like style, building even further on the beat and momentum of the music. Dramatic and prompt changes in dynamics encourage a sense of grandeur, deepens the texture, creates colour, and builds anticipation, which is further assisted by the use of accents, staccato, and directions such as Liebhaft, which means lightly, and general pauses that are noted for the orchestra. Furthermore, grace notes help to anticipate beat, as seen in this example, as well as pauses and quaver rests. Now these are used before the first beat of the very next bar, where you can see that accents and fortissimo dynamics are also included. And now to hear the music. So, what kind of an impact could this music have on the listener? Well, it's a recognizable tune, it's regulated by the consistent beat and well structured reoccurrence of themes. It has an energized and engaging melody with grand orchestration, and the repetition of the musical theme makes it pleasantly predictable. Driving feeling and the constant beat of the waltz makes you want to move or tap your feet. It builds tension, emotion, and resolves, like a feeling of symmetry, with the subtle changes in mood and instrumentation. Now, keeping in mind our music therapy potential impacts for aged care, a receptive music therapy approach may allow for multiple appropriate uses of this music. Eurythmic listening, as described by Wheeler, uses music listening as a way to help clients coordinate some type of motor activity. Wheeler further specified that a good example of appropriate music includes pieces with a strong pulse to support rhythmic choreography. Incorporating Blue Danube during the rhythmic listening could help coordinate motor activity, release emotion, and improve body awareness by encouraging clients to physically participate with the music using the strong pulse of the waltz to support and guide the timing of their actions. A further extension of this may be to provide the client with a percussive instrument or drum to engage in the music, not only exercising cognitive function, but also being physically active playing the instrument. Another receptive method, imaginal listening, is where the music is used to stimulate imagery. This process can increase self-worth and expand consciousness. This may be an effective method for patients with advanced stages of dementia that suffer from confusion, frustration, and diminished verbal capabilities. Improvisational and recreative music therapy approaches may also be used and benefit this population. Bruscher writes that these methods address many clinical aims such as developing sensomotor skills, improving attention and reality orientation, developing memory skills, and improving interactional and group skills. By incorporating instruments to promote interaction, socialization, expression, and creativity, one session activity may be to pass the beat around a group of clients by using simple percussive instruments. The motif shown in this musical example allows for a client-to-client or therapist-to-client response. For example, the client may play along with the sections highlighted blue, the lower register, that always fall on the first beat of the bar, and the therapist or other clients may feel the upper register, the orange sections of the example, which always proceed after the motif theme has been played. This reinforces the call and response or echo theme throughout the piece. This is just one example of how I believe this music may be beneficial to clients in an aged care setting suffering from dementia. Here are the references. Thank you very much for watching.